And it happened in a single moment. Thousands of pages exploding simultaneously in chaotic scenes across Lebanon, likely at the hands of one of the most lethal spy agencies in the world. And a warning, the following story contains distressing images.
Coordinated carnage. Scenes just like this one playing out across Lebanon and Syria, killing at least 9 people, including a child, injuring thousands. The target? Iran-backed terrorist group Hezbollah. The weapon? Old-school pages, all rigged to explode simultaneously in the pockets and hands of the group's members.
To damage 3,000 hands that can pull the trigger and press the button of launching rockets towards Israel. It is definitely an intelligence infiltration that is overwhelming.
Hezbollah had been using the lo-fi tech to try to evade Israel's notorious spy agency, Mossad, which has a long history of weaponising phones and tech to track, surveil and even assassinate its enemies.
3 decades ago, Israel managed to assassinate the main designer of bombs for Hamas. He was killed when his cell phone exploded, detonated by a remote control from an airplane.
But how exactly the devices were sabotaged, then detonated, is a mystery. Some speculate the pages were hacked into remotely and overheated, effectively turning their batteries into bombs. Others say it's more likely Mossad intercepted the pages before delivery and packed them with explosives and a switch, which was then triggered remotely.
The greatest achievement here is the confusion that it created among Hezbollah, the psychological damage among Hezbollah, and the fact that somebody can cause that much of a damage without even invading into Lebanon.
Mossad and Israel aren't claiming responsibility. America, too, is distancing itself.
The US was not involved in it. The US was not aware.
But with tensions already high after recent missile exchanges across the Israel-Lebanon border, Hezbollah is vowing revenge, raising fears of all-out war.
Jennifer Parker is a Middle East and national security expert from ANU. She joins us now. Jennifer, this all sounds like something out of a movie. How do you think this attack was orchestrated?
Yeah, look, thanks so much for having me on. It has been pretty dramatic as the details have evolved today. Over 3,000 pages look like they have exploded. Look, there's a lot of theories. I would suspect that the theory about the supply chain being intercepted, so effectively that whoever has done this, and it is of course suspected to be Israel, has intercepted these pages before they got to Lebanon and inserted some sort of a charge. You know, when you look at the nature of the injuries that are reported, it's hard to really come up with any other conclusion as to what has happened.
How would they do it? Like, could they do that without the cooperation of a third country, for example? Has this become a big diplomatic problem?
Look, it is really difficult to say. We certainly know that Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, are present in a lot of countries. They certainly couldn't have done it without Hezbollah's assistance. And this has got to be something that's got to be quite concerning for that organisation. They must have infiltrated the procurement organisation of Hezbollah. They must have known that they were switching from mobile phones to pages and how they were doing that and who they were doing that through. And that must be causing a lot of paranoia, I would suspect, within Hezbollah, trying to work out how that information got out. But as to whether they had assistance of another country, look, really, it is hard to know right now. I don't think that would have been essential in making this happen.
This is a region on a knife's edge. That's the context for this. The UN Special Coordinator for Lebanon has said, and this is a quote, that this marks an extremely concerning escalation in the conflict. Do you think she's right about that?
It is difficult to kind of see whether this is going to escalate. My assessment at the moment is probably not, because despite the wide-ranging attacks that have clearly occurred in the last 24 hours, the organisations involved in this do seem to know thresholds and boundaries. For example, when Iran attacked Israel in April, they signalled very clearly that they intended to do it, which allowed most of those missiles to be shot down. What I take from that is that none of these organisations, as much as they deeply hate each other, want to have a wider scale war because it's not in any of their interests. Could this happen by accident? Yes, certainly. But again, right now, I don't think this is going to be a dramatic escalation in the region. I do think there will be a response from Hezbollah. There may well be some degree of response from Iran, because it's important to remember that Hezbollah as an organisation, whilst based in Lebanon, was effectively established by Iran and is trained and funded by Iran.
Jennifer, thanks so much for your time.
Great. Thank you very much.